quiet. To begin at the beginning, it is spring, moonless night in a small town, starless and Bible black, the cobble streets silent and the hunched, quarters in rabbit's wood limping invisible down to the slow black, pro-black fish boat bobbing sea. The houses are blind as moles, though moles see fine tonight with snouting velvet dingles. Or blind as Captain Hat, there in the muffled middle by the pump and the town clock. The shops in mourning, the welfare halls and windows weeds, and all the people of the lulled and dumbfounded town are sleeping now.
Hush, the babies are sleeping. The farmers, the fishers, the tradesmen and pensioners, cobbler, schoolteacher, postman and publican, the undertaker and the fancy woman, drunkard, dressmaker, preacher, policeman, the web-foot cocklewoman and the tidy wives. Young girls lie bedded soft or glide in their dreams, with rings and trousseau, bridesmaided by glowworms down the aisles of the organ-playing wood. The boys are dreaming wicked, or of the bucking ranches of the night, and the Jolly Roger's sea, and the anthracite statues of the horses sleep in the fields, and the cows in the byres, and the dogs in the wet-nosed yards, and the cats nap in slant corners or low slide, streaking and needling on one cloud of the roofs.
You can hear the dew falling and the hushed town breathing. Only your eyes are unclosed to see the black enfolded town fast and slow asleep. And you alone can hear the invisible starfall, the darkest before dawn, minutely dew-graced stir of the black, dab-filled sea, where the Arethusa, the Curlew, and the Skylark, Zanzibar, Rhiannon, the Rover, the Cormorant, and the Star of Wales tilt and ride.
Listen, it is night moving in the streets. The processional saw slow musical wind in Coronation Street and Copper Row. It is the grass growing on Largo Hill, dewfall, starfall, the sleep of birds in Millwood.
Listen, it is night in the chill, squat chapel, hymning in bonnet and brooch and bombazine black, butterfly choker and bootlace bow, coughing like nanny goats, sucking Mentos, 40 winking hallelujah. Night in the 4 a.m., quiet as a domino. In Aki Milkman's lofts, like a mouse with gloves. In Di Red's bakery, flying like black flour. It is tonight in Donkey Street, trotting silent with seaweed on his hooves along the cockled cobbles, past curtain fern-tot, text and trinket, harmonium, holy dresser, watercolors undone by hand, china dog, and rosy tin tea caddy. It is night, netting among the snuggeries of babies.
Look, it is night. Dumbly boiling, rhyming through the coronation cherry trees, through the graveyard of Bethesda with lids gloved and folded, and dew doffed, tumbling by the sailor's arms.
Time passes.
Listen.
Time passes.
Come closer now.
Only you can hear the houses sleeping in the streets, in the slow deep salt and silent black bandaged night. Only you could see in the blinded bedrooms, the combs and petticoats over the chairs, the jugs and basins, the glasses of tea, thou shalt not on the wall, and the yellowing dicky bird watching pictures of the dead. Only you could hear and see, behind the eyes of the sleepers, the movements and countries, and mazes and colors and dismays and rainbows, and tunes and wishes in flight, and fall and despairs and pixies of their dreams. From where you are, you can hear their dreams.
Captain Cat, retired blind sea captain, asleep in his bunk in the seashell ship and bonnet, ship-shaped best cabin of schooner house, dream of.
Never such seas as any that swamped the decks of his SS Kidwillie, bellying over the bedclothes and jellyfish slippery, sucking him down salt deep into the davy dark, where the fish come biting out and nibble him down to his wishbone, and the long drowned nuzzle up to him.
Remember me, Captain?
You're dancing man.
I lost my step at Nantucket.
Do you see me, Captain? The white bone talking? I'm Tom Fred the Donkey Man. We shared the same girl once. Her name was Mrs. Probert.
Rosie Probert, 33 Duck Lane. Come on up, boys. I'm dead.
Hold me, Captain. I'm Joe Jarvis. Come to a bad end. Very enjoyable.
Alfred Parley Gerards, sea lawyer, born in Mumbles, sung like a linnet, crowned you with flagon, tattoo with mermaids, thirst like a dredger, died of blisters.
This skull at your ear hole is
Curly Bevan. Told my auntie it was me that conned the Honolulu clock.
Aye, Curly.
Tell my missus, no, I never.
I never done what she said. I never.
Yes, they did.
And who brings coconuts and shawls in Paris to my Gwen now?
how's it above?
If they're Roman lava bread,
Bosoms and robins.
concertinas,
Ebenezer's bell.
Fighting in onions.
and sparrows and daisies,
Tiddlers in a jam jar.
buttermilk and whippets,
Rockabye baby.
Washing on the line.
and old girls in the snug.
How's the tenders and dollars?
Who milks the cows in May's Gwen?
When she smiles, is there dimples?
What's the smell of parsley?
Oh, my dead dears.
From where you are, you can hear in Cockle Road the spring moonless night, Miss Price, dressmaker and sweet shopkeeper, dream of.
Her lover, tall as the town clock tower, Samson, sir of gold maned, whacking thighed and piping hot, thunderbolt-based and barnacle-breasted, flailing up the cockles with his eyes like blow lamps and scooping low over her lonely, loving, hot water-bottled body.
My Vonley Price.
Mr. Molly Edwards.
I am a draper mad with love. I love you more than all the filanet and calico, candlewick, divinity, crash and merino, tussore, cretonne, crepon, muslin, poplin, ticking and twill in the whole cloth all of the world. I have come to take you away to my emporium on the hill, where the change hums on wires. Throw away your little bed socks and your Welsh wool-knitted jacket. I will warm the sheets like an electric toaster. I will lie by your side like a Sunday roast.
I will make you a wallet of forget-me-not blue for the money to be comfy. I will warm your heart by the fire so that you can slip under your vest when the shop is closed.
My Bonnie, before the mice gnawed your bottom drawer, will you say?
Yes, Maud. Yes, Maud. Yes, yes, yes.
And all of the bells of the tills of the town shall ring for our wedding.
Come now, drift up the dock. Come up the drifting sea-dark street now, in the dark night seesawing like the sea, to the Bible-black airless attic over Jack Black, the cobbler's shop, where alone and savagely Jack Black sleeps in a nightshirt tied to his ankles with elastic and dreams of.
Chasing the naughty couples down to the grass-green gooseberry double bed of the wood, flogging the tosspots in the spit and sawdust, driving out the bare, bold girls from the sixpenny hops.
Evans the Deaf, the undertaker.
Laughs high and aloud in his sleep and curls up his toes as he sees, upon waking 50 years ago, snow lie deep on the goosefield behind the sleeping house. and he runs out into the field where his mother is making Welsh cakes in the snow, and steals a fistful of snowflakes and currants and climbs back to bed to eat them, cold and sweet, under the warm, white clothes, while his mother dances in the snow kitchen crying out for her lost curtains.
And in the little pink-eyed cottage next to the undertaker's lie alone the 17 snoring gentle stone of Mr. Waldo, rabbit catcher, barber, herbalist, cat doctor, quack, his fat pink hands palms up over the edge of the patchwork quilt, his black boots neat and tidy in the washing basin, his bowler on a nail above the bed, a milk stout and a slice of cold bread pudding under the pillow, and dripping in the dark, he dreams of.
This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed at home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went all the way home to...
Waldo, Waldo!
Yes, Bloodman love.
Oh, what did the neighbors say? What did the neighbors?
Poor Miss Waldo.
What she puts up with.
Never should have married.
If she didn't have to.
Same as her mother.
There's a husband for you.
Bad as his father.
You know where he ended
Up in the asylum.
crying for his mom.
Every Saturday.
He hasn't got a leg.
And carrying on
With that Mrs. Betty Morris
up in the quarry.
and seeing her baby.
It's cut his nose.
Oh, it makes my heart bleed.
What'll do for a drink.
He sold the pianola,
And her sewing machine.
falling in the gutter,
Talking to the lamppost.
using language.
Singing in the W.
Poor Mrs. Waldo.
Oh, Waldo, Waldo.
Hush, love, hush. I'm widower Waldo now.
Waldo! Waldo!
Yes, sir?
Oh, what'll the neighbors say? What'll the neighbors?
Black as a chimney,
Ringing doorbells,
breaking windows,
making mud pies,
stealing currants,
chalking words,
storming the bushes.
playing mutuals.
Send him to bed without any supper.
Give him cinnapods and lock him in the dark.
Up to the reformatory.
Off to the reformatory.
Learning with a slipper on his BTM.
Waldo, Waldo, what are you doing with our Maddie?
Give us a kiss, Miss Maddie Richards. Give us a penny then.
I only got half a penny.
Lips as a penny.
Will you take this woman, Mattie Richards?
Dossie Pepperell.
Effie Bevan.
Lil Luke.
Mrs. Flusher?
To be your awful wedded wife.
Now in her iceberg white, overly laundered crinoline nightgown, under virtuous polar sheets, and her spruced and scoured, dust-defying bedroom, in trig and trim bay-viewed, a house for paying guests at the top of the town. Miss Osmore Pritchard, widow twice of Mr. Osmore, when only retired, and Mr. Pritchard, daily bookmaker, mad by discerning, scrubbing. The voice of the vacuum cleaner and the feel of the polish, ironically swallowed disinfectant. Fidgets in her limp sleep, wakes in a dream and nudges in the ribs, dead Mr. Osmond, dead Mr. Pritchard, ghostly on our Mr. Osmore, Mr. Pritchard, it is time to inhale your balsam.
Oh, Mrs. Osmore.
Oh, Mrs. Pritchard.
Soon it will be time to get up. Tell me your tasks in order.
I must put my pajamas in the drawer marked pajamas.
I must take my cold bath, which is good for me.
I must wear my flannel band to ward off sciatica.
I must dress behind the curtain and put on my apron.
I must blow my nose
In the garden, if you please.
in a piece of tissue paper which I afterwards burn.
I must take my salts, which are nature's friend.
I must boil the drinking water because of germs.
I must take my herb tea, which is free from tannin.
And have a charcoal biscuit which is good for me.
I may smoke one pipe of asthma mixture,
In the woodshed, if you please.
and dust the parlor and spray the canary.
I must put on rubber gloves and search the peak for fleas.
I must dust the blinds, and then I must raise them.
And before you let the sun in, mind it wipes its shoes.
In Butcher Bynum's, Gossamer Bynum, daughter, schoolteacher, dreaming thief, daintily ferrets under a fluttering hummock of chicken's feathers in a slaughterhouse that has chintz curtains and a three-pieced suite, and finds with no surprise a small, rough, ready man with a bushy tail winking in a paper carrier.
At last, my love.
Sighs Gossamer Bynum. and the bushy-tailed wags rude and ginger.
How
Cries Organ Morgan, the organist, in his dream.
there is perturbation and music in Coronation Street. All the spouses are honking like geese, and the babies singing opera. PC artillery.
My brother, my brave Orestes would not come here in secret because he feared Aegisthus. Besides, how can the two lots correspond?
Keep watching him.
But what a nobleman, grown like an athlete's in the Celestia, stiff from close cropping, and mine a woman, softened with combing. It's absurd. Anyway, you can find many with similar hair who are not of the same blood.
Is it true? Yes. Right.
Good go.
Okay. Then go and place.
Then go and try the footprints.
Then go and try the boot prints. See if their shape and size are like your own.
Friend, how can there be footprints on rocky ground? And if there could, brothers and sisters' feet would not be the same size. Women have smaller feet.
If he has been here, we can't be sure of it.
Keep watching her. If you need a line, don't turn to us. Just go.
Oh, I don't need one.
Okay.
I have no idea where I was.
Just say that's true. It is come, if he has come.
That's true. If he has come, we can't be sure of it. But if you were to meet him face to face.
Okay, Josh, I hate to keep bugging you, but you can't keep that staff in front of your face. You might put it upstage above your left knee on the other side. Okay, yeah, that would work.
But if you were to see him face to face, would he not wear, for recognition, the cloak woven on your own loom, in which, many years ago, to save his life, I smuggled him away?
Surely you know that when Orestes was taken away, I was a child. And even if I had been weaving clothes, clothes don't grow larger with the body. No. Either some Argive pitied the neglected grave, or
Some stranger.
some stranger dared to elude the guards and be paid.
It's the other way around. Some stranger did, and then, or some Argive, I believe.
No. Either some stranger pitied the neglected grave, or some Argive dared to elude the guards and pay dutiful offerings to the dead.
Well,
Watch your staff. Don't put it in front of your face.
perhaps. But where are you two guests? I want to see them now.
Yeah, you can start sort of struggling up, perhaps, and then. But where are you?
Perhaps.
Yeah. No, God, that's all we need.
But where are you two guests? I want to see them now and question them about your brother.
Here they come.
They have nobility, but it may be counterfeit. Many who are nobly born are knaves. Nonetheless, my courteous
Crossing. Keep going.
my courteous greetings to our guests.
Greetings, old man. Tell me, Electra, who owns this antique relic here?
This man, sir, was my father's guardian as a child.
What? The same man who spirited your brother safely away?
Yes. If Orestes lives, he owes his life to him.
Why is he examining it? Like a man examining the head of a new silver coin. Perhaps I remind him of someone.
You are one of Orestes' friends. He's glad to see you.
True, Orestes is my friend. Why is he walking around, inspecting every detail?
I was wondering too, stranger.
My daughter, royal Electra, pray to the great gods.
Of what shall I pray for? Something that exists, or some abstraction?
Look at this man.
Grasp at the solid reality.
Shit. Grasp is a solid reality, the vision which God holds out to you.
I am looking to see if you have lost your wits.
Very well, I call upon the gods. Okay.
When he said, "Look at this," did he get?
So grasp at the solid reality, the vision.
Which God holds out before you.
Right.
Very well then. I pray to the gods for a boon of which I do not know the nature.
this man. There's no one you love more.
I am looking to see if you have lost your wits.
Lost my wits when I see your brother before my eyes?
My brother? No, I don't believe it.
You are looking at Agamemnon's son, Orestes.
I suppose you see some token by which you will convince me.
That scar on his brow, he fell and cut it once while chasing a fawn with you.
What's that? A scar? I see it, but
What are you waiting for? He's your brother.
Come up, okay, don't get hidden behind her. Come up a little behind her. No, to your right. There you go. Come forward.
What are you waiting for?
Good.
He's your brother. Take him in your arms.
I will. Your token has convinced me. My brother.
Okay, keep focused. Okay.
I thought you'd never come. I am scared. At last I hold you in my arms.
At last I hold you close.
At last I hold you close.
At last I hold you in my arms.
I had despair.
I too.
You really are Orestes?
Yes, you're 1 hour. And if I catch the prey I've come to hunt.
You will. I am certain. We can never again believe in the gods if wickedness is to triumph over right.
Turn it up. You're embracing.
Sister, this mutual embrace is a real, this mutual meeting and embrace is a real pleasure, which we shall renew in time. But tell me, old man, your coming is a lucky coincidence.
Focus, focus. Keep it.
Here for vengeance on my father's murderer and on my mother, his partner in crime and lust. What is my next step? Do I have friends in Argos, or am I bankrupt? Whom shall I contact? Should I travel by day or night? What direction should I take to lead me to my enemies?
My son, you are in exile. You haven't a single friend left. In their eyes, you're uprooted, finished. No one is pinning his hopes on you. If you're to reclaim Argos and your father's house, your success will depend upon luck and a strong arm.
Yes, but how am I to go about it?
Kill Aegisthus and your mother.
Yes, that's the glorious deed I've come to attempt. But how?
When Orestes crosses over to the old man, Electra, you can slide over to where you are now, and the chorus will go with you. But we need that separation. Okay, go ahead.
There's no use trying to get inside the walls of Argos.
I expect Aegisthus has guards and sentries everywhere.
Yes. He's so afraid of you, he can't sleep.
Well, what do you suggest?
Wait. I thought of something.
I hope it's a good plan. Well, I'm waiting.
Oh. As I was coming...
Move that thing on the other side. As I was coming up here,
I saw Aegisthus.
Excellent. At least we know he's out of the city. That should make things easier. You saw him where?
Down in the pastures. Down by the road?
not far from here.
Not far from here. In the pastures where his horses graze.
What was children? Or vows for an expected birth?
All I know is that he had everything there necessary to sacrifice a calf.
How many men were with him? Or were there just his slaves?
Just his household slaves. No Argives.
Would any of them recognize me?
I don't know. They're slaves. I never saw them before.
Well, if I kill a man, they might be friendly.
Slaves serve success, and always will. That's in your favor.
Josh, don't hang your head. Just take it out of your character altogether.
What do you think is the best way to get next to him?
Go and stand where he'll see you.
When the sacrifice begins.
Go and stand where he'll see you when the sacrifice begins.
You mean his pastures lie next to the road?
Why, yes. He'll see you and invite you to share the feast.
And with the gods' help, you'll find me a most unwelcome guest.
After that, that's right. Yes. After that, your successor. Your plans must take advantage of what happens.
That makes sense. My mother, where is she?
She's still in the city, but...
Yeah, indicate left. That's often.
She's still in the city, but she'll be down in time for the festival.
Why didn't she come with him?
She's afraid. I always screw this line up. Where's the button?
She's afraid.
She's afraid of
Criticized.
being criticized by the people.
So
she stayed behind.
I can understand that. I'm glad she knows how the people think of her.
Yes. She's shunned for her terrible crimes.
how am I going to do?
Sorry.
Okay.
How am I going to kill both of them at the same time?
Leave the killing of my mother to me.
Good. Good. And as for him, opportunity shall show me the way.
That old friend, opportunity, shall help us both.
How do you... Ow. How do you plan to kill your mother?
Go, Ancient One. What, Ancient One? Go, Ancient One, and tell her that I have borne a child, a son.
Shall I say this happened recently or some time ago?
10 days ago. That fixed the time for ritual purification.
But how will this bring?
But how would this bring about her death?
When she hears of my delivery, she will come.
Okay, watch that staff downstage of you. Yeah.
Do you think, daughter, that she cares for you at all?
Oh, she will come. Come to weep over my son's low birth.
Yes, but what's the point?
Once there, she's as good as dead.
Suppose she does come. Comes right up to the door.
I assure you that the path from there to death will be very short.
When I see it, I'll die content.
You will. It will happen. But right now, you must show this man where to find Aegisthus.
The place Aegisthus is chosen for sacrifice.
Then go on to tell my mother everything that I have said.
The very words. She'll think you're telling her yourself.
It is time, brother. Opportunity has chosen you to draw first blood.
I am ready if there is a guide.
Oh, there is. One will take you there most willingly.
I gotta hear guide, not God. It sounds like, do you believe in God? Yes, there is a God. That's what it comes across as. I'm sorry.
How far do you want to go back to?
Just that word, or just that word sentence, please.
I am ready if there is a guide.
There is. One will take you there most willingly.
O Zeus, conqueror of my father's enemies and mine.
Have pity on us, because our state is pitiable.
Use your left arm is okay, but keep it further out to the left, yeah. Not all, oh, yeah. See about where his is? About 45, yeah, there you go, right. That's okay.
Have pity on us, for our state is pitiable.
Have pity on them, for they are yours by birth and blood.
If these our prayers are just, oh, grant us victory.
Hera, great queen to whom Mycenae's altars burn.
If these our prayers are just, oh, grant us victory.
Oh, grant them a just vengeance for their father's death.
Agamemnon, father, sent by foul murder to your home below.
O earth, great queen to whom my beating hands invoke.
That's fine, Chorus, you can do that.
That really fucked me up.
That really what?
Screwed me up.
Send
out to these dear children strong defense and aid.
Come, bring your army of the dead to fight your cause.
All those brave men who fought your battles at Troy.
All those who hate impure hearts and polluted hands.
Do you hear, Father?
Do you hear?
He has heard everything. It's time to go.
Yeah, don't poke him, just say the line.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, don't look down.
Cross a little bit further.
And I give to you this token word. Aegisthus dies. And if in the struggle you are thrown and lose your life, then I shall not live. That moment will be the moment of my death. I shall drive a two-edged sword into my heart.
I understand.
And take your courage in both your hands.
No head down, no head down. I realize you probably, yes, much better. It helps the character a lot. Okay, looks a lot better.
Women! Your part shall be like beacon fires after a battle, to give a cry for life or death. I shall be on watch, and my hand too shall hold a sword. If I am defeated, my enemies shall never collect their vengeance on my living flesh.
Long ago, in the mountains of Argos, a soft young lamb under its yew
So say the gray-haired spinners of old tales,
was found by Pan,
Prince of wild places,
who breathed enchanted music on his tuned pipes. And the lamb had a lovely fleece of pure gold. And Pan, they say, brought it to Atreus, king of Argos. And there a herald stood on the marble steps and cried,
Careful.
People of Mycenae, come all, come all. Come and see this wondrous sight, our great king's fortune.
and the people came at once and honored the royal palace with dancing and singing.
and braziers of beaten gold were placed all about. And all over the city of Argos, fires gleamed on the altars, and the oboe, servant of the Muses, rang out its sweet notes, and lovely songs rose loud in praise of the golden lamb.
Then by Isis turned to treachery. He lay secretly with Arch's wife, Arope, and persuaded her. And he took the marvelous lamb to his own house. Then going forth to the assembled people, he proclaimed that he held in his own house the horned marvel, the lamb with the golden fleece.
Then it was that Zeus turned back the glittering journey of the stars, and the burning sun, and the pale face of dawn.
And from that day on,
And from that day on, the blaze of divine fire moved towards the west, and the wet clouds lie to the north, and the parched plains of Persia lie language untouched by dew, and Zeus withholds from them his sweet rain. That is the story.
but I can hardly believe that the golden sun turned his face, changed his burning course to help a mortal's misfortune and requite the human sin.
Nonetheless, frightening tales are useful. They promote reverence for the gods.
Sister of two famous brothers. Oh, Clytemnestra, sister of two famous brothers.
Holoduces, if only you had remembered tales like these as you raised your hand to kill your husband. Friends, what was that?
Did I imagine it, or was it a sound like subterranean thunder?
Or did you hear it too?
The wind is up, I tell you, and brings news.
My lady, Electra, come out here.
What is it?
I've heard a groan around there.
The fight is on. Where do we stand?
The chorus is always asking that. Where do we stand?
Where do we stand?
I heard a groan like death. That's all.
I heard a sound too. Distant, but I heard it.
The sound came from far off, but clear.
Was it an Argive's voice? Or my brother's?
I can't tell. Listen, there's a chorus now of mingled cries.
That means the sword for me now. I must waste no time.
No! Wait at least until you know the chorus is true.
I can't. We've lost. There should have been news by now.
There will be. It's no easy matter to kill a king.
Victory, women of Mycenae, victory! To all friends, I proclaim Orestes' victory. Aegisthus, Agamemnon's murderer, lies dead. Thanks be to all the gods.
Who are you?
You know
How do
me.
I know your news is true?
You know me. I'm your brother's servant.
Friend, forgive me. Terror made me blind, but I recognize you well enough. The loathsome beast who killed my father. Is he dead?
He's dead. Good news twice told is twice welcome.
Thanks be to the gods and justice. Daughter of Zeus who beholds all things, at last you have come. Frank, tell me, point by point, my brother killed Thyestes' son. How? I must know.
Soon after we left this hut, we came to a road that was wide enough for 2 chariots, and we followed this to where the great king of Mycenae was. He stood in a well-watered plot, cutting young myrtle leaves to make a garland for his head. When he saw us, he called out, "Greetings, strangers! Who are you and where do you come from? What's your country?" Then it just described, "We are Thessalians, and we're going to Alpheus to sacrifice to Olympian Zeus." When he heard that, it just said, "Stay here today and be my guests. I'm killing a bull in honor of the nymphs, and you must share the banquet. Get up early tomorrow. You'll be there just as soon. Come on, into the house." As he said this, he led us by the hand, and then he cried, "I will not let you refuse. One of you men, go and bring water for our guests to wash. Then let them stand near the altar by the purifying bowl." Then Orestes answered, "We have just purified ourselves in holy water from a running stream. So, King Aegisthus, if strangers may lawfully share in the sacrifice with our guides, we will not refuse your bidding. Here we are." That settled that. Then the slaves who were guarding the king laid their spears aside, and all at once were busy. Some brought baskets, others brought the sacrificial bowl, and others lit fires and put pots on the boil. And the whole house was full of noise and movement. Then your mother's lover took barley and threw it on the altar with these words, "Nymphs of these rocks, I pray that many times at home, both I and my wife may share the sacrifice with the same portion we enjoy today, and may evil oppress my enemies." By which he meant you and Orestes. Then under his breath my master prayed contrary, to possess again his father's house. Then, from the basket, King Aegisthus took a straight-edged blade. Then from the bull calf's leg he cut one tuft. Then as the slaves lifted the bull calf over their heads, he cut its throat. Then said, I've heard it boasted that the Thessalians are expert at two things: cutting up a dead bull skillfully and breaking horses to the ring. Friend, here's the sword. Show us now if that's true about the Thessalians. It was a well-made Dorian sword. He grasped it firmly, threw off his buckled cloak, called Pylades to help, made all the slaves stand back, took up the bull cat's neck. Then with one long sweep laid the pale flesh bare, then flayed the carcass in less time it takes a fast runner to run a mile. Then he opened up the guts. Aegisthus at once took up the augural parts and gazed at them to see what the future held. The liver lobe was missing, and the portal vein and gallbladder pretended evil visitations to anyone who looked upon them. The king's face grew dark. Then Orestes cried, "What is obsession?" Aegisthus, friend, I'm much in fear of treachery from abroad. Agamemnon, son of all men living, is the most dangerous enemy to me in my royal house. Then Orestes answered, "What? You, king of a city, fear an exile's plot? This Dorian knife's too small. Bring me a Pythian axe. I'll split the breastbone, then we can sit and feast." They brought him one, and he cut. Then Aegisthus bent over and leaned over and took the parts to separate them, and leaned over them. Orestes rose up on his toes and struck him on the back of the neck, shattering his spine. His whole body from head to foot writhed, shuddered in death agony. The slaves who were guarding the king ran and grabbed their spears, a whole regiment against two. They stood their ground and faced him boldly. Then Orestes cried, "I am no enemy to you, nor to Argos, my comrades. This man was my father's murderer, whom I have punished. I am Orestes. You were my father's servants. Will you take my life?" At this they checked their spears. In a moment he was recognized by an old man who had long served the royal house, and then there they were, cheering and shouting with delight, and putting garlands on. Here he comes now, bringing no Gorgon's head to show you, but the head of your enemy, Aegisthus. His atrocious debt has fallen due. His life at last pays blood for blood.
What?
Yep.
Yep. Hit the button.
It's the button now. We had to go get our tambourines. I need to get some music from you.
Okay.
So I can ask questions.
Speak out.
Victory, I need to wear my best. Garlands in my hair, my virgin
Hold on, can we stop? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We got our blocking hand choreographer thing.
Yeah.
We got twisted the wrong way in our circle and we got messed up.
Okay, let's take it from the beginning of the song again. That's good. I really like that that little the bit.
All right, guys, let's wheel around to stop the videos from where we're supposed to be. Don't have to worry about the
Leslie? Leslie? Be sure you just read out the lines loud and clear. Don't be subtle about it. Yeah, okay.
All right, now, music ends and we have to go somewhere, so.
Michelle,
okay.
remember, watch this.
Roll, 1, 2, go.
Okay, terrific. I think that's going to be nice. Very nice.
Welcome, brave conqueror. Welcome, Orestes, worthy son of him who conquered Troy. Come, let me bind your hair with this triumphal crown. You have run your full course and come safe home. You're bearing your just prize, your enemy dead at your feet. I give to you this garland. I give also to you this garland, Pylades, his brave comrade in arms, son of an honorable man. You have shared equally in this. In this what? Ordeal. In this ordeal. I wish for both of you a long and happy life.
Name first the gods, Electra, as accomplishers of this good fortune. Give your second place of praise to me, for I am the gods' and fortune's instruments. I have in full truth killed Aegisthus, so that knowledge may be backed up by visible truth. Here he is. Do what you wish. Throw out his carcass to the dogs. Impale him on a stake to feed the birds of heaven. He is yours, Electra. Once your master, now your slave.
Shame makes me shrink from the words which I want to say.
What shame? There is nothing you need fear.
Shame makes me shrink for fear that resentment shall be pointed at me.
No one will blame you.
Our citizens are quick.
But our citizens are quick to anger and hard to please.
Quick to blame.
Quick to blame and hard to please.
Say what you wish, sister. The feud we had with this dead man is unconditional.
Yeah, you can be sort of staring in fascinated horror at the head, Electra, during this part.
Of all the harsh and bitter things which I have to say, what shall come first? What last? And what in between? For years at sunrise, I have never failed to repeat the words which I would say to your face, if ever I could leave my terror-ridden past behind. Now, I am free. And I will say those words which I wanted to say to you when you were still alive. You were the ruin of my life. I and my brother did you no wrong, yet you left us both fatherless. Adulterously you took my mother and killed her husband, chief commander of the Greeks, though you yourself never saw Troy. Why? Then you were such a fool as to think that after you had shamed my father's bed, that in my mother you would find a faithful wife. When a neighbor corrupts his wife, when an adulterer corrupts his neighbor's wife, and is forced to marry her, let him be sure of this. He is to be pitied if he is to imagine that think that she who cuckolded one husband will not cuckold two. It was a sorry life that you lived, though unaware. Yet you knew your marriage was unholy. She knew her husband was an enemy of the gods. And each being evil gained the other's evil destiny. She yours, and you hers. And no Argive ever called her your wife, but Clytemnestra's husband was your name. Is it not shameful when it is the wife who takes the first place at the house and not the husband? So too when sons are called not their fathers, but their mothers. Well, that is something which I despise. That is something which I despise. And what more than all deluded yours but all mine, with abundant great wealth made a great man. But money keeps company only for a short time. What is firm and lasting is a man's character. For a noble character is a lifelong friend, who will lift life's burden. Wealth makes unjust league with wickedness, and in a short season flies out of doors. Mine.
As for you, your wayward women.
As for your wayward women, since plain words don't become a virgin, I shall choose my words carefully. You with your royal palace and your good looks, indulged. And give for me a husband, not an effeminate fop, but a true man, whose sons devote themselves to arms.
The other sort.
The other sort may shine and dance with little else. What?
And so you die.
And so you die, ignorant of how right the years have condemned your guilt.
Let no man.
Oh. Let no man, deep in wickedness as his, think that if at first his stride is strong, can outrun justice, until he has run full course and comes safe home.
His crimes were fearful. He has paid a fearful price to both of you. Justice is irresistible.
Take this into the house, lest my mother see it before her throat is cut.
Wait. There are other things we must decide.
What is it? A rescue party from Mycenae?
No. It is my mother. She that gave you birth.
Good. She is walking right into our trap. Look at her. A carriage, slaves, and her finest gown.
What are we going to do? Kill our mother?
Have you grown soft the moment you laid eyes on her?
She brought me up. She bore me. How can I take her life?
How?
How? The same way she took her father. The same. How?
The same way she took our father's life.
The same way when she took our father's life.
Phoebus, your oracle.
Phoebus, your oracle is blind brutality.
Whose eyes would hope to see if Apollo is blind?
It is wrong to kill my mother, yet you said I must.
You avenge your father's death. What's the harm in that?
In avenging him, I am pure. Killing her, condemned.
You defy the gods. You fail to avenge your father.
If you neglect to avenge.
If you neglect to avenge your father, you defy the gods.
If I kill my mother, shall I not be punished?
If you allow Apollo's vengeance, that
Apollo will pursue you.
Apollo will pursue you if you allow his vengeance to be let go.
Some fiend disguised as God must have commanded me.
Fiend? Throned on the holy Delphic tripod? I think not.
I can't believe what the gods told me is right.
Don't lose your nerve now. Remember, you are using the same deception that she, with Aegisthus' help, struck our father down.
I'll be inside. Every step I take is dreadful. The deed before me still more dreadful. Yet if heaven so wills, let it be done. Heaven cannot help my agony.
Walter, I think the very last part of that speech probably needs to be given to the audience.
Which parts?
The first sentence is to her. The last speech that you just gave.
How much of it? All of it.
And then turn, yeah.
Heaven cannot help my agony?
Yeah, that's to us. Heaven can't help my, yeah, right.
That's too long.
Okay, go.
small compensation for Ephigenia, the child I lost. Still, they do look lovely in my palace.
Should I not be given the same privilege? To hold your royal head in blessed hand? After all, mother, am I not like them a slave?
I have my slaves here. Don't trouble yourself.
You took me prisoner by the soul, uprooted me. Like them, am I not captured in a conquered palace? Like them, am I not fatherless?
Your father, child, brought all this on you by his wicked treachery with Ephigenia.
Listen, I know my tongue is sometimes bitter. That's because you treated me as a bad woman. I agree one should not speak bitterly. But when people judge someone, they ought to learn the facts and then hate, if they have reason to. If they find no reason, then they should not hate. When I married your father, I didn't expect to be killed, and I didn't expect to see my children killed. But he took my child Olive, where the fleet lay bound, lured her from home with lies about Achilles, held her high above the altar, and cut her soft white throat, my Ephigenia. If he had done it to avert the capture of the city, or to exalt his house, or if to save his other children, he had sacrificed one life for many. He could be forgiven. But no. Helen was a whore, and her husband didn't know how to handle an oversexed wife. And that was why Agamemnon murdered my daughter. All the same, just for that sacrifice, cruel as it was, I wouldn't have turned savage and killed my husband. But when he brought Cassandra, the mad prophetess, home with him, foisted on me a second wife, a fellow lodger, 2 kept women in one house. I know women have few rights, but when taking advantage of this, a husband looks elsewhere and slights his lawful wife. She'll copy him and find a friend for herself. Then the glare of public censure lights on us. The husbands are blamed, but they're not criticized. Suppose Menelaus had been abducted secretly. Would I kill the Orestes to get back my sister's husband, Menelaus? Would your father have stood for that? No. He would have killed me if I touched his son, yet he killed my daughter. Why shouldn't he die? So I killed him. I took the only way open to me. I turned for help to his enemies. Well, what could I do? None of your father's friends would have helped me to murder him. Are you anxious to refute me? Well, do it now. Speak freely. Prove your father's death not justified.
Mother, remember what you just said, that I might speak my opinion freely without fear.
Yes, I did, daughter, and I meant it.
But what you really meant is that you'll listen and get your own back afterwards.
I mean you're free to say whatever you want.
Then I will say it. And this is where I shall begin. I wish, Mother, your heart were more pure. You and Helen were both rightly praised for beauty. Yet, both you and Helen were rightly praised for beauty. Yet unhappily you were sisters in heart,
They
too.
skipped the chorus, too. You skipped over.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So we didn't know our cues, though.
What's the cue for them?
Prove your father's death not justified. It's quite against his line, and then the chorus of theirs after they move across the stage.
Okay, go back there. Flanking the...
It's okay, no.
No, Suzanne, we didn't know our cue. It's not your fault.
We're in trouble getting
Okay, sure.
Dr. Lockwood?
Yeah.
Can I ask a big favor? Because
Sure.
when we go down on pay whatever to thy fortune, come back up and then let her say her lines, because it's messing us up position-wise. We used to be in another position to get before we came here, and also she can't stay on her knee that long, and it looks kind of funny for us to just go knee and then plop down on her side and sit.
Problem is that if you're standing, you really are interfering with that picture. So I'd rather have you flop. Yeah.
Why doesn't Sharon give them a cue to sit or something before she says her lines? But thank you very much, which may sit down.
Sort of an imperious gesture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sit.
Okay. Add it.
Because it felt just really awkward kneeling and then going,
Okay.
we're going to sit down.
Good.
2 or 3. Well, she's not looking anymore.
Yeah, okay.
No, well, we're not going to kneel now.
Okay, Sharon will put that in.
Okay. Where do we take this?
Whatever your last one is.
Who's your father's death not justified and the making of Christ?
Yeah.
Your words are just, yet there is something repellent in your justice.
A wife ought in all things to exempt her husband's judgments, if she's wise.
Those who will not admit this are beyond the reach of argument.
Mother, remember what you said just now. That I may speak my opinion freely without fear.
Yes, I did, daughter, and I meant it.
But what you really mean is that you'll listen and get your own back afterwards.
I mean, you're free to say whatever you want.
Then I'll say it. And this is where I shall begin. I wish, Mother, your heart were more pure. You and Helen were both rightly praised for beauty, but unhappily you were sisters in heart, too. Lewd and lascivious. People talk of Helen's rape, but she embraced her own corruption. And you took the life of the most noble man in Greece. Your pretext? That you avenged your daughter with your husband's blood. There may be some who believe you, but I know you well. Even before your daughter's sacrifice for society, you sat before your mirror, brushing your hair. Any wife who takes such pains to enhance her beauty in the absence of her husband can be written off with bad. She need not show a pretty face out of doors. Unless, of course, she's looking for something she shouldn't. Why? You alone of all Greek women, as I know, were happy whenever Troy won a battle, gained some success. And if Troy ever lost a battle, your eyes were clouded. Why? Because you didn't want Agamemnon to come home from Troy. Yet you had every inducement to remain faithful. Agamemnon was not inferior to Aegisthus in descent, a man chosen by the Greeks to be the commander-in-chief. Why? Further, when Helen, your sister, disgraced herself, you had an opportunity to enhance your reputation. For when wickedness acts as a foil to virtue, it makes virtue more noticeable. Why? This next. Even if, as you say, my father murdered your daughter, why then, after you had... What injury? Even if, as you say, my father killed your daughter. Why, when after you murdered your husband, did you not give us our father's house? I and my brother did.
Instead, you took his dowry.
Instead, you took it as dowry to your lover and bought yourself a husband. Why?
Aegisthus does not suffer.
Aegisthus does not suffer exile for Orestes' wrongs, nor death for mine. Yet he inflicts upon me a living death far more cruel than my sister's. And if death and justice demands death, then I and my brother must kill you to avenge our father to death. For if one revenge is just, then so is the other.
My child, your nature has always been to love your father. It is natural. Some children love their fathers best and others their mother. I forgive you. I do not, in fact, exult unduly over what I did.
Come in on I forgive you.
I forgive you. I do not, in fact, exult unduly over what I did. With what unthinking fury I drove myself to take my grand revenge. How bitterly I regret it now.
It's too late for regret. You can't undo what's done. My father is dead. Yet your son arrests he still lives. Why don't you bring him home?
Because